After the deadly attacks last Friday, we hear from a student who is within the city limits.
Plus, ice skating just got a lot closer to campus. We'll tell you about a new venue opening in downtown Valpo.
It's been wet and windy here in Valpo, but winter is on its way. Winter is coming. I'll have all that more, but first, you're here on this edition of The Shield.
Thank you for joining us on The Shield. I'm Jake Landgraf.
And I'm Katie Byrne.
Valparaiso University students studying abroad in France and in Reutlingen, Germany are safe following the terrorist attacks in Paris last Friday. Kenneth Bowman, one of the Reutlingen students, spoke with Valpo Media about his experience in Paris that night and how safe he feels given the uncertainty after that horrific event.
The Bataclan concert venue place, that was about 2 kilometers, from where we walked. We just walked, I guess, to within that range. And we didn't really know that that was happening at the time. We couldn't tell just by looking around. But then hard for me was being able to convince them that I indeed was okay, that after I made it safely to the Airbnb, that there wasn't really any danger. I mean, from like a petty theft standpoint, this is one of the safest places I think I could possibly be, so I'm not really worried about that. And it also, Reutlingen happens to be a fairly non-touristy destination, so from a terrorism security standpoint, I think I'm also in a
Have you had to go all the way to Chicago to get a great skating experience during this winter? Well, Valparaiso has a new ice rink downtown. Shield reporter Andrew Whitmire has the story.
Well, downtown Valparaiso has a new and fun tradition for both the holiday season and also the winter season. Ice skating is brand new this year at the William E. Urschel Pavilion and is ready just in time for the holiday season. Valparaiso Parks Director John Siebert said,
This whole vision of a downtown park started with the mayor and a lot of people that were interested in wanting to have an anchor for the downtown.
Ice skating will be taking place from Thanksgiving weekend until spring break in March. All day passes are sold for $5 and are good for the entire day. Skates can also be rented for just $3. The hours for the rink vary throughout the week and winter season. The new ice skating rink in downtown Valparaiso features a refrigeration unit. This allows the park to remain open and allow skaters onto the ice up to 60-degree air temperature. The ice itself is 1 inch to 1.5 inches deep. With the Urschel Pavilion, it allows the ice rink to remain covered from sunlight and weather conditions. The total cost for the William E. Urschel Pavilion and the Indiana Beverage Activities Building totaled over $6 million. Director John Siebert said half the money for this pavilion was donated through the private funds for the project. The Urschel family itself donated $3 million for the facility. Now the space which the ice skating rink sits on can be used as a multi-purpose space once the skating season is over. Reporting for The Shield, I'm Andrew Whitmire.
After a year where the Valparaiso football team won 4 games, the expectations were high coming into this year. However, the program has experienced some growing pains with a large amount of youth on the team. And while that may be, with the seniors on this year's team, the future of Valpo football is set up for success. Shield reporter Parker Gatewood got to catch up with senior A.J. Bradley, who shared his experiences as a Valpo football player.
A.J. Bradley is a senior DB on the Valparaiso University football team and has been since his freshman year. And while Bradley has many interests, his love has always been football.
I played football, basketball, lacrosse, and as I started to come up, the coaches was like, well, they're really looking at you for football, so you should start putting more effort into football. So I'm like, football is going to be my thing.
Bradley decommitted from a D2 school a few days after signing day in order to commit to Valpo, and since then has learned a lot throughout his journey as a Crusader.
When I first got here, I was new to the experience, so college football being new, I loved it. I was just like, this is college football, but we're not winning. And that hurt me as a person, because I'm a huge competitor, and I hate to lose more than I love to win. And it was just like, oof, rough. But then it came a new coaching staff, and they're able to put the foul under everybody else's belly, and including mine, so it made me just want to work and want to work.
As AJ's collegiate career dwindles down, there are a few aspects of the game he is going to miss the most.
It's that feeling to know that you're going up against somebody else and you get to compete at like a high level and assert some aggression into it, and you get to hit a little bit but not too much. It's going to be a huge thing that I miss, and just the camaraderie of everybody feeling. I don't have teammates, I have brothers. And that right there, that's what the feeling that I'm going to miss the most.
AJ has enjoyed his time in Indiana, but has even more pride for his hometown, Washington, D.C.
I couldn't tell you not one bad thing about D.C. There's nothing about D.C. that I don't, from the national games to the Wizards games to just the people just coming together, and you see a lot of history with the Smithsonian museums. I like to take walks in the museums. It's a beautiful city.
And as much as Bradley plays the game for his hometown, he plays it more so for someone else, his brother.
My brother is a person I looked up to, and he played football, and this was his dream, and I took it over. We don't see each other that much because he's a little older than me, very older than me, but my brother.
A dream that came from his brother now lies with him, and Bradley hopes to carry it on when his college days are done.
They're starting a couple of new leagues in NFL Europe. So try to pick up, try out there. But if those don't work, then always have a degree to fall back on. Try to pick up somewhere in like a TV studio, maybe as an intern for now, but work my way up from there.
Another Valpo product with a bright future. AJ Bradley is not done. In fact, he's just getting started.
It was a windy day on campus, and we have Adam Sherwinski in the Storm Shield Weather Center. Adam, what can the Valparaiso, expect on their walk to the Arc today for the game?
Well, definitely bring a jacket. It's going to get a little chilly tonight, about lower 40s for this area. We're going to have it clearing skies for tonight. Friday, we're going to have some snow, though. I'm going to talk about more in my full forecast. But next week, to start Thanksgiving break, we're going to have a cooler start to next week. But definitely, if you're going to the Crusader game tonight, bring a sweatshirt and just have a good time. That's all I can say. Go Crusaders.
Coming up, governors take a stand.
Shield, over 20 states have barred Syrian refugees from entering their borders.
Plus, the brother of one of the attackers in Paris speaks to the media. We have that and more when we come back.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it... If Daniel won't change your mind, baby,
Broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
Governors across the country are sharing their concerns with Syrian refugees with the Obama administration. In the wake of last week's terror attacks in Paris, White House officials held a conference call with the governors Tuesday night. A growing number are saying that they will not welcome refugees into their states because of terror concerns. The Department of Homeland Security and the State Department fielded questions from the state executives and reassured them that the federal government was doing the most thorough vetting possible of Syrian refugees. At least 30 governors, mostly Republicans, have said they will not allow Syrian refugees in their states. 7 governors have committed to welcoming resettlement.
Turkey's intelligence officials say the associate of Jihadi John has been arrested on suspicion of plotting to carry out Paris-style attacks in Turkey. They say Anne Leslie Davis, a British national, was planning a trip to Europe to deliver orders on planned terror attacks. He was arrested in Istanbul hours after Davis's arrest. The airstrikes that killed Jihadi John, whose real name is Mohammed Awazi, were carried out.
We are now hearing from the brother of the two suspects in last week's Paris terror attack. Muhammad Abdeslam told CNN's Aaron Burnett he was questioned by police for 36 straight hours without an attorney before investigators released him. He says he was close to both his brothers, but says the family had no idea about what was going to happen.
Your brother who participated in the attacks, who is dead, Ibrahim, I understand that some around him, your mother perhaps, was aware, knew that he had become more radicalized. He had stopped drinking, he had changed his behaviors. Were you aware of that? Had he changed?
Oui, bien sûr. Après,
Yes, of course. But the word radicalization may not be the right one. My mother has indeed seen changes. I have seen changes. But when you have a son who quits drinking, it does not necessarily mean that he will commit a terrorist act.
Blew himself up in the attack, but 26-year-old Salah Abdeslam is now the target of an international manhunt. Police say he rented the car found outside the concert hall where 89 people were massacred. Police stopped him hours after the attacks in a car near the Belgian border, but let him go because he apparently had not yet been linked to the terrorist operation. Muhammad Abdeslam is encouraging his brother to surrender. He says he fears he will try to attack again. We've seen some mild and wet weather for the beginning of the week. What will the weekend bring?
Storm Shield meteorologist Adam Sherwinski tells us if snow is in the forecast coming up.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it... If dying young won't change your mind, baby,
Broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
With winter weather around the corner, many wonder how the university decides when to close.
To tell us more about it, here's Shield's news reporter Kyle Brown.
When a snowstorm looms, students across campus begin checking their email to find out if the university has closed and if classes have been canceled. But what goes on in the administrative side of things when that decision needs to be made? I sat down with Vice President Susan Scroggins to find out more.
Between our students and our faculty, especially Professor Wolf, we converse with them constantly when we know that there's some bad weather coming. When students are on campus, we never close campus, and that's because we have to continue to feed and care for the students that are here on campus.
A number of criteria can cancel or delay classes.
One factor would be a snow blizzard, right? If we know a blizzard is forecast, that would be a criteria for canceling or delaying classes. Really frigid temperatures and no snow. Ice storms could be a reason. So it really varies, and that's why we have to kind of watch closely what all the factors are.
A number of people contribute to the cancellation conversation.
I'm the one that's responsible to have the initial conversation with Professor Wolf and or folks, our BUPD, and even with our facilities people. So I'll make a recommendation to the provost, but he makes the final call.
Is there any chance of a cancellation this year?
A quiet nice, warmer, not as much snow winter.
Weather experts are predicting a mild winter here across the Great Lakes region, but should winter weather take a turn for the worst, the university will be ready.
It's been a rather mild week, but are we going to see some snow by the time we all head home for Thanksgiving?
Storm Shield meteorologist Adam Sherwinski joins us in the studio with your weather forecast. Adam?
Unfortunately, guys, yes, that is in my forecast, but I'll get more of that in a second. It's been a warm day here in Valpo. 63 degrees for your high, 41 for your low tonight if you're going to the Ark. Remember, like I said, bring a jacket. It's going to be pretty cold. All right, looking at our temperatures across the Midwestern region, 45 in Davenport, 48 in Valparaiso this evening. But that cold front's going to slide right through in here. We're going to have cooler temperatures, and it's going to prime us, get us ready for the snow event coming through as we can work our way into the weekend for break. A little more local look, let's hear. 48 degrees in Valpo, 49 in Gary. That cold front, you can just see it slide right in again. And it's just going to bring cooler temperatures. Thursday, 11 p.m., when you're getting ready for study for your last exam before you go to break, it's going to be pretty chilly out. So if you're walking from building to building, you might want to bring a sweatshirt. And then Friday, right before you get ready to go home, 41 degrees in Valpo, 41 in Joliet, 38 in Chicago for those who live in Chicago. Like I said, the rain's going to move out for tonight. We're going to have some cloudy skies, but it's going to be pretty nice actually for Friday. It's going to look gorgeous, but we're going to have that chance of snow. Here it comes. Right in Nebraska and South Dakota, it's going to sneak its way in here. And then Friday evening, right when you're getting ready to go home, you're almost to your house, that's when the snow's going to impact. So there we go. Saturday at 2 o'clock, late that night, and into Saturday is when our best chance of snow is going to be for the entire area. If you do happen to see some snow, though, if you're up in the Rockford area, that's the best chance you're going to see, 2 to 4 inches. Just around here, maybe a trace to 1 inch is the most, and if you're farther south, hardly anything, maybe a dusting. If you're going to the basketball game tonight, like I said, right as of right now, 53 degrees as you're walking your way to the Ark. Like I said, again, bring a sweatshirt. All right, but tonight, however, if you're not going to the game, 41 degrees, mostly cloudy, southwest winds, 15 miles per hour, and 43 tomorrow. Let's take a look at that 5-day forecast real quick. Like I said, it's going to be a beautiful day, but then Friday we're going to get some snow that night, and then Saturday it's going to be really snowy for those traveling later that afternoon, and Sunday we're going to start off cold and sunny for the rest of the week. So when you start your forecast or your Thanksgiving week, it's going to be really cold. Bring a jacket if you're still in the Chicago area. If you're going to Grandma and Grandpa's house to eat turkey, and I wouldn't recommend playing outside in football. It's a little too cold for me.
Definitely. Well, I'm glad I'll be able to escape the snow, luckily, because I'm leaving on Friday, right just after noon, actually. So I'll escape that snow punch.
Good.
Thank you, Adam. Coming right up after the break, Katie Nickolaou has an update on your Crusader athletics from the past week. Stay with us.
On a campus plagued with terrible weather, Valpo students suffer from boredom with no motivation to leave their room. They begin to search for free movies and stumble upon Valpo's new free movie streaming website, where you get unlimited free access to recent movies like Despicable Me 2 and Jobs at the tips of your fingers. So if you're feeling bored, then don't wait. Grab some friends, find a seat, and enjoy a movie on movies.valpo.edu.
You would be hard-pressed to find someone who did not attend a Valpo athletic event this weekend, as 5 home games and 1 road match all happened within a span of 3 days. Of course, the marquee event of the weekend began on Friday with men's basketball opening their regular season against IPFW. Picking it up on the first half, Max Joseph sends it over to David Sakara, who finds Hamnick in the corner. Hamnick fakes, dribbles it in, and slams it down for a wonderful 27-19 lead. To the second half we go. Darian Walker alley-oops it, and with the help of Achille Fernandez, Crusaders up 38-31. Just 30 seconds later, here we go again. This is not a replay. This is the same play. Another lob pass from Keith Carter, and Achille once again sends it home. Finally, it's Alec Peters up top, knocks a three down for his own. A win for the Crusaders on their home opener is good, but it would be Sunday that would provide the first challenge to Valpo against Ionia Gales. Sunday night action from the Arc finds Max Joseph at the top of the key. Joseph finds Shane looking, shoots, and a wonderful basket right there. Great. You can see the student section really enjoyed it. Now we go down the floor. We're going to see later in the first half, Keith Carter sends up a pass to Nickerson off the fast break, and he sends it home. The second half, more of the same, but this time it's Shane Hamnick who picks up the loose ball, puts it in, puts an exclamation point on a Valpo win, your final score being 83-58. While the men began their regular campaign, it was the volleyball team who wrapped up their season, notching 2 more wins into their 25-7 season. The weekend spelled back-to-back games for Valpo beginning on Friday night against Youngstown State. Led by a combination of Emily Campbell and Catherine Carlson, each with 9 kills, the team had a .357 hitting percentage, and on their way to a 3-set victory over the Penguins, 25-16, 25-14, and 25-13. And Saturday would be the last time the Arc would see senior setter Kelsey Barrington in a Valpo uniform as she played in her last home match as a Crusader. Barrington added 34 assists and 12 digs in the 3 sets and one winning effort over top-ranked Cleveland State. Freshman Catherine Carlson also added to her stat sheet with 15 kills and 10 digs. The Crusaders would finish in 3rd place in the Horizon League, matching themselves up with University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee in a Friday afternoon showdown in round 1 of the Horizon League tournament. It was also senior recognition for the football team as they played their final home game of the season. Matched up with the Eagles of Morehead State, the Crusaders got an early 7-0 lead. However, they would be playing catch-up for the rest of the game as the Morehead State Eagles scored a touchdown, and Valpo would take the lead with 9 minutes left in the game with 1 point up. But the effort would not be, the effort would be in vain because the Morehead State Eagles scored with just under 3 minutes left in the game. Valparaiso dropped their final home game 36-29 and will play their final game of the season next week in Jacksonville. 5 games down and 1 to go is the women's basketball team on the road against Butler. Valpo kept it close early, but the Bulldogs would be too much for the Crusaders. Valpo falls in their first game of the season, 72-53. Jesse Weidman was the leading scorer for Valpo with 14 points and 2 rebounds in 2 minutes of play time. You can keep up with all your athletic updates 24/7 on valpoathletics.com. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that football game was a close one. I was at it, and such a heartbreaker. We almost had it, too.
Yeah, I'm ashamed I couldn't make it that one. But Sunday, I was at the basketball game. We got those free T-shirts. Those were pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah. They were awesome.
A free T-shirt.
Who can pass that up? We're college students.
Exactly. Thanks, Katie. We'll be right back with a final look at your weather forecast.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's the better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it... If dying young won't change your mind.
Broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
Let's take a look at current gas prices. As students get ready to head home for Thanksgiving break, the national gas average is $2.11. In Indiana, it is $1.94, and in Valparaiso, it is $1.84. These are the lowest prices we've seen in 8 years around Thanksgiving time. Shifting gears now to a final look at weather. Adam, is there any snow in the forecast?
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely a chance of snow as you go ride home this weekend. There's going to be a chance of snow Friday evening into Saturday, and from Saturday, all day Saturday and Saturday evening. So if you are going home anytime between late evening on Friday into late evening Saturday, you're going to probably get a lot of that snow. And as you can see, Sunday, though, we will clear out, and it's going to be cold, cold, cold across the board as we start our break next week. It's just going to be really, really freezing. So a great way to start a break, huh?
Yeah, but not quite snowman snow, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, not quite yet. But it's our first snowfall of the season, so it's great.
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I don't like snow personally. I'm more of a severe weather kind of guy. But this is something interesting. It changes things up a little bit. So that's why I'm a little bit looking forward to it.
I'm very excited for this first snowfall. I'm from Wisconsin, so we love the snow up there, and I'm excited to have a snowball fight or something. But learning that the snow is not going to be quite that sticky stuff that you need to build forts or throw snowballs around with is kind of a disappointment.
Hey, when it gets sticky enough, though, I'll call you to do a snowball fight because I'm ready. I'm ready. Whew.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to sledding. That's going to be my favorite. I have a hill
that's
all
gonna be
scoped
fun.
out.
Yep, exactly.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us on The Shield. We'll catch you sometime next week.